give them a better chance of survival while we're reducing greenhouse gases. So yes, they're being incredibly impacted by sea ice loss. So polar bears, as they lose that habitat that they need to survive, they're starving, they're drowning, they're resorting to cannibalism. 8 out of 19 polar bear populations are declining. That's a real wake-up call. So what we can do for polar bears is in the Arctic, there's kind of a push to open offshore drilling in the Arctic. We know how disastrous it's been in the Gulf. Would be even more disastrous in the Arctic. Let's not drill there. Let's protect the polar bear's habitat, give it a better chance of survival.
So your organization, the Center for Biological Diversity, is against drilling up in the Arctic.
Yes, we should have no new offshore drilling.
Right. Now you brought up the coral reefs and acidification of the ocean. How much, I know the ocean is 2/3 of the area of the world, of the Earth. What is the status of acidification of the ocean?
Yeah, so a lot of people know about how carbon dioxide pollutes the air, but they don't know that carbon dioxide also pollutes the ocean. So the ocean has absorbed an incredible amount of the carbon dioxide we put into the air, about 1/3. And as the ocean absorbs that carbon dioxide, it changes the chemistry of the ocean and makes it more acidic. So our oceans, that incredible body of water that you talked about, is 30% more acidic than it was 200 years ago. That's a really big change. And one of the main impacts of ocean acidification is it makes it more difficult for creatures that build shells and skeletons to build that protective armor. So corals or clams or ocean plankton are having a harder and harder time building the shells that they need to survive. And because so many things rely on those species, that ocean acidification is affecting the entire ocean food web. Ocean acidification is often called global warming's evil twin. It has an incredible impact on the ocean, and it's something that will continue unless we reduce carbon in the atmosphere.
Okay, and so as acidification continues as it is or increases, it destroys the living things in the ocean, and we all need the protein, the fish, the shellfish, and the other things in the ocean, and if we lose that, that would not be good, would it?
That's right. So, I mean, the ocean is being jeopardized, from the top to the bottom, and that also it impacts, all of that tremendous diversity of species in the ocean. So if you think about coral reefs that are being impacted, they're like the rainforests of the ocean. They're in jeopardy of dissolving. They're in jeopardy. Scientists have said that corals we're in jeopardy of losing most of the world's corals before mid-century if we don't get rapidly reduced greenhouse gases to 3 to 50 parts per million. So in terms of human impacts, almost 500 million people around the world depends on corals for their livelihood. So we lose the corals, we also have a tremendous impact on people, and we rely on a lot of things in the ocean for food, those clams and mussels that are being impacted by ocean acidification. And shellfish farmers in the Pacific Northwest, the U.S., are already struggling because of ocean acidification's impacts on those.
We don't have much time. Okay. What should people in California do about Proposition 23? Should they vote yes for it? It's going to be on the November ballot. That's the one that eviscerates California's AB 32.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
No.
Absolutely
on 23?
No on 23. California is trying to take steps through AB 32 to reduce our carbon pollution, and we shouldn't eviscerate that.
Okay. All right, we're almost finished, and you've been a wonderful guest, but stay. I just want to say a few things. Now, I'd like to bring up a poster, and this is a poster. I don't know if you can, first of all, the name of it is Climate Change for the Wealthy. Remember, the one behind you is Climate Change for everybody else. And on this poster, it's hard to see right now, but on the bottom we put the words Palo Alto on it. And the reason we did this, because I think you come from a very progressive city, Berkeley. Palo Alto is also a very progressive city with respect to being concerned with climate change, sustainability, etc. And we made this poster with Palo Alto so that the government of Palo Alto, the mayor, can give these posters to dignitaries around the world. And we've made 2 others. And what we've done, or trying to do, is as these posters go out into the world and into people's homes and offices, we are hoping it'll get people to think about climate change and the diversity, the degradation of the species. Hi, I'm Michael Killen. My guest was Shaye Wolf. She's with the Center for Biological Diversity. And I'm just going to say a couple of more words to her and then say thank you very much. First of all, you've been a wonderful guest.
Well, thank you for having me on. I've really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah, and I've really enjoyed it. And you brought up some wonderful points. And I'm delighted your organization and you are working so hard to try to mitigate the threat of climate change.